welcome to Our Stitching Chronicles, the craft podcast where every stitch tells a story.
We're your hosts. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kendall. We're here to chat and explore the stories of our stitching.
So grab your yarn, find a comfy spot and knit along with us as we share stories, projects and hopefully a few laughs along the way.
Let's cast on chapter 9 of Our Stitching Chronicles.
Yay! Chapter 9.
Chapter 9.
Cannot believe it's been 9 months.
And it's October.
Oh my gosh.
Both things.
October.
Yeah, it's wild.
We have been doing this for 9 whole months.
9 whole months.
And
We're still here.
how fun. All right. Well,
Cool. What are you wearing?
I am in
Crochet.
crochet today just to prove that I do actually crochet and that I do like colours, and I've always liked colours, I just didn't realise it. So I am wearing,
Also very autumnal today.
right?
Yeah.
Except it's not
Australian.
autumn.
I know,
In
it's spring.
Australia it's spring,
We missed the memo.
but you know, whatever, we can wear whatever colours we want to. Free will and all that. Okay, so I am wearing the Brogan top-down sweater, pullover. What's
Yeah.
the difference between a pullover and a sweater?
I thought they were the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, pattern is pullover.
And just to throw an extra spanner in the works, Australian also jumper, sweater, pullover, all interchangeable, but jumper in America means very different. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Generally, I'll call most of my things jumper,
Yeah.
but I've started saying sweater more and more because of patterns and podcasts. Anyway, so this is a design by Ruby Web Crochet. Say that 10 times fast.
Ruby Web Crochet. Ruby Web. I can't even say it once.
Anyway, Ruby Webb's Crochet. It's a top down in the round raglan. It's like double crochets, like V. So you do
yeah.
2 and then a chain and then 2 and then a
Yeah.
chain, and you do the 2 into the chain from before. So it makes like these little V's. I crocheted this in Bendigo Woolen Mills Calypso, which is 60% wool, 40% cotton, and it's really textured. So like the cotton hasn't been spun; it's like fluffy still. It's
Yeah.
like unplied,
Yeah, almost blown.
and so it sort of mild color and texture, and I don't know what color it is. They don't actually sell it on their website
No,
anymore.
it's like a special, like limited edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm wearing. Really easy. I crocheted this in 6 days. And yeah, I know, right? It was really fast and really addictive. So,
It gives me the knitting, like the crochet version of the field sweater that you did.
yeah, I can
Like
see
a
it.
similar, like little grain pattern,
Yes.
but all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Back in crochet.
Yeah, no, I am not going to be crocheting anything else, but I'm wearing it. And
You're
I do
wearing
like wearing this one. This one's a really great spring top because
Yeah.
I just wear a tank top underneath and it lets the air in but keeps me still kind of warm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you wearing, Kendall?
I am wearing my Book Club cardigan by Sari Nordland. This is in a Bendigo Woolen Mills as well. It's in their bamboo twist in a green. So
Yeah.
I've spoken about it before.
Yeah.
Beautiful cables, beautiful little gold buttons. But the yarn changes colour depending on how bright and light. So it can be like a really, really bright green, or it can be kind of like the more muted
Yeah.
olive. Love it.
It's so nice.
I know.
Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, love
When
it.
I wear it, I'm like, oh, I want to do a cabled project again. But then it's just so much work.
We're in the middle of a cable project, Kendall.
Well, you are.
Well, why don't we pick that one up? Anyway.
But yes, and then I also look at the button band and I'm like, oh, the button band took so long. So
It wasn't that. I feel like I have such a warped memory. Like, in the moment, I was probably like, this is the worst. But I look back and I'm like, it wasn't that bad.
wasn't that bad,
Looks so good in the end.
yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
so Sari Nordland Book Club cardigan. One of the things that kind of lured me back into knitting.
Yeah.
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 That's it.
Excellent.
Take us away with your first and only finished object.
I have only got one finished knit object, and that is my Alma Mitts by the New York Year. I love these. I knit these in the Ski Machine sock merino, so it's like a merino nylon blend in the colour Traffic Jam. And I've said it before and I'll say it every time. I love JMO's naming of colours. JMO and Matt. How beautiful, like how gorgeous is this colour and how gorgeous is this pattern. Now, the New York year has a lot of sock and knit patterns, and for Socktober, she's actually got a discount on all of her patterns on Ravelry at the moment, which I think is 15%. I just saw it on Instagram this morning, so we are not connected in any way, shape or form other than I really liked knitting her mitts. And I loved knitting these. It was so good. Quite quick. Highly recommend, highly rate. Yep. Alma Mitts by the New York year. And you can, if you want your fingers a little bit more free, you can actually fold this, this down to get your fingers a little bit more.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Just in time for
the
summer.
yarn looks, I know, like everything, just in time for summer. Put it in storage for a couple of months.
Yeah.
The yarn looks so good in that.
Yeah, this colour looks stunning knit up like this.
Yeah.
Just, I love
just the subtle
colour
changes.
It's not like this stripy whack here, whack there. It's actually just, it blends really nicely. And it feels so good to work with. Like, I actually really loved working with it. I reckon it was actually this yarn that made me go, oh my gosh, I love knitting in four ply, small circumference. So, highly rate and recommend.
Love them. Just going to leave them on for the rest of the pod now.
No, I won't, because they don't go with my...
They're in like autumnal.
They are in the autumnal. This is it. This is my colour palette.
Love them. So fine, so neat, so impressed.
It took me, I think I mentioned this when they were a whip, it took me forever to figure out how to do the left twist, right twist, which is kind of like cable but without using a cable needle or dropping stitches off and picking them back up. But once I got there, it was fine.
That's great. One and only Finn.
One and only knit Finn. I have another one.
Yes.
But I'll talk about that after you.
I'll do one, you do one.
Share your exciting one.
I will not talk about this one much because I recorded a whole vlog about it.
And if you haven't seen it, go see it. It is incredible. Like, this is where I told Kendall I had opinions on her vlog, but I wanted to share them when we were with you guys. You, in our last podcast, were like, mine's not that aesthetic. It's not that, Oh my goodness,
you had so many pretty things in it.
You have so many stunning shots. I love your shots of, like, the nature and then the end. Oh, I won't spoil. But the ending where you were displaying the finished product, the scenery.
Thank you.
Kendall, your shots were...
Look, we can go there after for a photo shoot if you need to.
Oh, yeah. No,
Did you bring any units?
No, I didn't. No. It is really a great podcast and I loved watching it. So go check it out. We'll put a little
probably at the end. Yeah. Little card.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I'm glad I went through and published it. I just needed holidays to be able to sit down and think about it.
Yeah. Okay, show us what it is.
It is the Matcha Jumper by Vert Knits or Inez Oliveras. Beautiful pattern. I love, 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 love it. I used the Chaska Puree yarn, which is a fine DK in the colour 6. And my aim was to use, it had to be a project under 1,000 metres. Yeah. So that's all I had. So 900 metres we came in at.
Woohoo!
And I love it. Again, just in time for summer.
I know,
but I have been able to wear it for spring and it is really comfy and it's not as itchy as I thought it would be. So that's been great. So,
I absolutely love, even though it was finer than you were expecting it to be, I still really love how it feels and how it looks.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, every time I see this, I can't get over how much I love it.
I know, I'm stoked to be able to make another one.
But can I call you out on something here,
Yeah,
Kendall?
what did I do? I know, okay, there is a reason. I think it's actually connected back here. It's a really, really long end.
Because you don't know whether you want to fold down the collar. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, Kendall, you have not woven in an end here.
There was a reason.
That's a valid reason.
I think I'm going to leave it up.
Yeah.
And so I just need to go back and weave it in.
Yeah.
But I've worn it a couple of times. I can easily fold it down and it stays down.
Yeah.
And I think just for versatility, I'm going to leave it.
Yeah.
With a long neck.
I like liked it with the long neck. I feel
Yeah.
like it suited you.
Yeah, and it blocked out and was stretchier. So
Yeah.
that is my matcha. If you want to find out a bit more about the process, you can click the card that will be somewhere up here or was up here before, and we'll link it below as well. But I love it. Fully recommend the pattern. Really detailed. Thought of everything. There's lots of adjustments you can make if it's not quite matching up with the yarn that you're using. Love it. Want to make another one. Obsessed.
Obsessed.
Yeah. Not mic drop. It's a sweater drop.
Love it. I'm actually so jealous of that, and I think I need to make myself one too. Now, my next finished object is not knit related, so I won't spend too much time on it, but I wanted to have more than just my knits to show for a month's worth of knitting, and only have a pair of mitts that took me 2 weeks to knit.
Well, yeah, but
Not even, and they were a whip in the last.
yeah, that's fine.
In the last, but I
Life is busy.
I had a sick day. I wasn't feeling very well. So, of course, what do you do when you're sick? You sew.
Be productive.
Yes. So, I made myself another pair of Lane pants. Lane pants in this gorgeous pink colour.
Love them.
And I've left this in case I do want to put the tie in, but I haven't really put it in. Can I tell you? It's so dodgy. I was sick when I knit these.
Yeah.
And when I sewed these rather. And I remembered last time I didn't like how high they sat.
Yes.
And they were a little tight.
Yeah.
They felt more like business pants rather than loose,
Yeah.
loose flowy, light linen pants. And so when I was cutting out the pattern, I was like, I'll just add like an extra, I don't know, I guess an inch or so on this side. Did not measure. Just literally winged it and just went, I'll just cut that and that. So the front and the back were different widths. And then I was like, I don't want it to be so high, so I'm just going to cut some off the top. Again, did not measure, just cut. So the back sits quite low. It's like, I don't know if any of you guys grew up as teenagers in the early 2000s.
The Britney Spears low rise.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm 14, 15 again, and, bending over is a dangerous feat. They are very low in the back, but I've sort of like worn into them and they've dropped really nicely and they are so comfortable.
Yeah.
I wear them all the time. And I added about 7-8 inches on the bottom. And so they fit my length perfectly.
I am sad that you don't have the little design feature from your last one.
Where
I really liked it.
If you haven't seen me talk about the last pair, it's in one of our previous chapters, but basically I added length. I'm not exceptionally tall. Like, I'm taller than average. I'm like 5'8", but these pants were like, they would have been shin length on me if I'd followed the pattern.
Yeah.
So I added a whole bunch of length
Yeah, but you end up
to
with
the
this,
front, and I forgot
cool
to do
detail.
it to the back of the other pair that I made. So that, yeah, I had a funky
liked it.
little detail. Anyway,
design detail.
pants. I've got this. I won't put that in.
Yeah.
So many dodgy things, but I love them. I don't care that they're dodgy. Anyway,
All right. My finished object is also one of Sarah's whips, so we're just hybriding this together.
we're doing this together.
We did speak about this in the last podcast, about how I just needed like a really short, quick, easy project. And we'd both got the Serato sock pattern from Fiberbound.
Yep.
And I had this Woolen Works sock yarn in the colourway Rufus that I was going to use.
Yep.
And you had the sock yarn from
Blackwater
Blackwater.
Yarns, when they announced they were closing down. It comes with a solid yellow and hot pink as well, but I actually didn't bring them. Silly me.
No, that's okay.
That's fine.
You can see them in the other.
Yeah,
Yep.
you will.
And so I have, in 8 days, from cast on to cast off, finished a pair of socks. They flew. Like, literally flew off the needles. I don't think I've ever made socks that quickly.
Look how colourful they are.
This is probably my best fitting pair of socks. I've made 4 pairs.
Yep.
We're getting better.
Yep.
On my 5th pair, I'm going to do the heel correctly, because I don't think I think I'm yet to do a heel correctly.
What did you do, Kendall?
I did a double knitted heel because I didn't read the instructions properly. And then I think I've been doing this wrong all the way along, and I have. But it means that, like, the heel is really, like,
Solid.
solid.
Yeah.
That heel's not ripping anytime soon.
Yeah.
That is double knitted, but it means it's a little bit too short. But this is my Serato sock. Beautiful texture on the front. Love the Woolen Works yarn for this.
Yeah.
8 days.
8 days.
8 days.
Well,
Yeah.
Kendall and I cast these on the same day. You
Yeah.
cast it on in the morning, I cast it on in the evening. In my defense, you have been on holidays. I
Yes.
have been flat out with uni placement, uni, comma, placement.
Yeah.
I'm doing a research project. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm drowning in whips and not enough time to do them in. But my sock, I have finished one.
I love the yarn.
So I finished this one in 7 days. I have not woven in any of my ends. But can we please discuss that Kendall and I made the same size?
Same size.
I knit the recommended amount of repeats.
Same.
Kendall knit the recommended amount of repeats.
Did you do the recommended rows?
Did the recommended amount of rows. Kendall did the recommended amount of rows. And I have a size 7 foot.
Size 6, 6.5.
So my foot is not that much bigger than Kendall's. Why is my sock so much bigger than yours? I know that I'm a loose knitter, but this just really highlights. Sorry, I dropped my thing. This just really highlights how loose my knitting is.
Mine match themselves though, so we don't have the problem we had last time of one being super loose. But yes,
This is true. They fit me nicely.
Yeah.
They are so comfortable.
I love the longer.
And I think just this bit just bunches down a little bit sometimes, but that's fine.
The 80s,
They're
it's fine.
really warm and I love it. Really warm and cozy.
Yeah.
I love the
stunning.
contrast toe and heel that I've done. I've never, this is my second pair of socks.
Yeah.
So it's like my third sock
You're still working out your
ever.
recipe. Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me to change a pattern, because there's no like instructions for how to do a contrasting, I was like, what's the word? Contrasting coloured heel. So I just like looked through all the photos of people on Ravelry. And so I just looked at all of her project photos and I was like, where have they started it?
Yeah.
Where have they finished it? And so really happy with that. And can we just discuss this colour?
The colour is amazing.
Like, how beautiful with the little flecks of
The
blue
green and the blue and the
green
purple.
and the pink
Yep.
and the yellow and love it. And then this is where I'm up to with my second sock. So I've just been so busy that I just I haven't. So that's your finished object. This is my first whip.
Well, is one sock a finished object?
There is a local girl, Adelaide Girly, that I follow on
Yes,
Instagram
I said it.
called
Palmhouse?
Palmhouse
Yeah.
Knit. And she actually put that poll up.
And everyone said no.
Everyone said no. I have to admit I did say no, but I was sitting there going, yes, of course it is. Because I want it to be finished.
I know.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to add to these?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Was really, really surprised at how quickly they came together.
I know. Do recommend the pattern if
absolutely.
you are looking to knit a pair of socks. Yes.
I love socks. I'm always like, oh, they take so long, but they really didn't.
8 days, Kendall.
8 days.
8
And now I need
days.
to cast another one on, so I've got a good on-the-go project, because that's what I
Yes.
do not have at the moment. So
Yeah. Well, you've got some yarn left over.
might make a little pair.
Yep. Excellent. All right.
right.
Next.
Well, that
whip.
moves us into whips.
Yes. I've talked about my first whip. What's your?
So I only really have one other whip. Can I reveal it to you?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, so I've been working on the Rosie sweater. Love the pattern. Probably been seen everywhere. But it's by Linit, by Leni Holm Samso. That would be terrible. I didn't realise till I started the pattern that it's the same designer that does the
Yeah. Porcelain.
porcelain.
Yeah. And terracotta.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew that.
Which, like, I like them, but the motives weren't anything that I was, like, desperately in
Yeah.
love with. But the Rosie sweater, I love it.
Yeah.
We have a brand of chocolates called Roses. and the design looks like it's come off the top of that and put onto a jumper.
Yeah. And also, I think what she did with this one, so the terracotta and the porcelain, you both have to knit colourwork flat for the top part. Whereas this one, she has made it so that you have no
Amazing.
purling in colourwork.
We love that. That's why I
Yeah.
love this pattern.
I saw this when the test knitters were
Yes.
working on it, and I was
Stunning.
like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And I don't know who sent it to who. I think we maybe, like,
Yeah.
at the same time were like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And
So
I am
order the yarn.
so jealous that Kendall
Cast
is
it on.
working on it.
Have I shown Sarah any of it?
She has not shown me a single photo. All I know is what yarn she's using.
Yes. So Bendigo Woolen Mills Whisper in Cocoon, which is a limited colour, and Cherry. So Cocoon being like the cream background, Cherry being like the colour work on the front. So I'm going to go and reveal it.
And you're going to watch my live reaction to this.
And then I'll bring it over.
Hopefully I'm impressed, and because otherwise I'll be like, ooh.
I haven't finished it. I'm talking about it like I finished it. I really want to be like, surprise, it's done, but it's a huge project.
And she's done a lot more than you would think, considering she hadn't started it last month. Okay, so she's got it on a mannequin, covered in a sheet.
You ready?
Yeah. Kendall, those colours. Oh my gosh, those flowers. No. Can I?
Let me squish.
Let me. Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, wow, this is soft.
Yes. I tried to tell you about this.
Oh my goodness. The
yarn is so soft.
This. Those flowers from. Sorry.
Yeah. Show the pod.
Look at these colours together. And this beautiful.
So we've split for sleeves. We've got to do one more line of the colour work and then I'll do the ribbing. Actually, I think you do a couple more plain rows and then you do the ribbing. And then I'll pick back up for sleeves and the collar.
My gosh.
But I'm loving how much like positive ease that it has.
Yeah.
I'm knitting the smallest size and controversially, I haven't gone up a needle for my colour work.
Yeah.
I've just been doing it loosely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because when I did the swatch, I did go up and I found that it was too gappy. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh, I love it, Kendall. I love these colours.
I feel like it's going to look straight up like I've picked it up from the 90s op shop and I love that.
No,
Like
it's
that's what
not.
that's what I'm going for though. Like it's the vintage cozy.
Even on the back. Can we just show them the back? Because I really love... Oh, it's so good. It'll need a good block.
Oh yeah,
to,
I'm
like,
already seeing
yeah,
that.
stretch it out.
But the sleeves, you it's been a few weeks since I did the sleeves, but you like pick back up all the way around.
Oh.
So you've got the increases, but you're picking back up here. Like you kind of put them all on hold, and then you're like picking them
yes,
back up.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just these top ones or
yeah,
all of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, you do it here.
Yeah.
You're picking up here, and then you keep
'Cause I
going.
think there. And then that's
Yeah.
what you do. Yeah.
It increases.
Sorry, we should tell you guys what we're discussing
Yes.
here. So you knit flat. Hang on. Can I see?
You knit flat at the back.
Yeah.
You join at the shoulder.
Pick up stitches at the shoulder.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then when it gets to joining in the round, that's where you pick up the stitches and then you continue the rest. That's genius.
So you would, like, it was really weird and confusing because you were like picking up across
Yeah.
the top of the shoulder
Yeah.
to get all your sleeves.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, I haven't done it that
And
way
this
myself
yarn
before.
is so
So
soft.
soft.
I've actually got some Whisper to
Yes.
knit a colourwork jumper in, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. And
Eventually.
again, it's an 8 ply, and I think the pattern recommends a worsted or a 10 ply. But
yeah,
the gauge swatch, and when I was buying and checking the meterage, it was they matched.
I
so.
do find that the Bendigo Woolen Mills 8 ply is almost like borderline a light worsted
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one of those things of yarns from different countries.
Oh, I love it.
But yes, stoked. Can't wait to wear it.
Got your little sleeves.
There
I
are
can't
some
wait to
really
see it.
long floats in the back, but that's just how the pattern works. You just have to be really careful with them. But
Yeah.
there's kind of like it's really hard to find spots where you can twist the yarn without it being
Yeah.
obvious.
Yep.
But that's okay.
You could always, I guess, like tie them down
Yeah.
if needed.
But yeah.
They're neat floats.
Yeah. No block out. All right. So
These beautiful neat floats.
they're just long. Long floats.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I love it, and I'm so jealous.
I can't wait to be done. But I'm enjoying the process.
We'll find out in a second why I can't cast that on.
She's not allowed to.
Last podcast, I talked about my cast-on-itis, and I was so excited about it. I loved my cast-on-itis. It was so much fun in the moment. Until I'm now stuck with 8 whips.
8. And like they're not small whips.
No, I
Some
have
of them are,
got, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4 jumpers,
Yeah.
sweaters.
Yeah, they're huge.
Sweaters, jumpers. A very intricate, detailed lacework top, like tank top.
Love letter. Yep.
A scarf that I've put on hold, so really it shouldn't count, but it's
Yeah.
on my mind as
Yeah.
a whip and it stresses me out. And 2 pairs of socks, one of which I am going to frog, but I'll talk about that when I get to it. So
7. If you had a
yeah,
frog one,
there'll be
7.
7. 6, because 6 really active because 1 is on hold, the scarf.
And you are close to finishing. You've
And
started
I
the second
am
sock.
so close to finishing one of them. So, buckle in, guys. We're going to be here for a little while. I think it's also a combination of too many whips, and I have been really, really busy. I haven't had a great deal of free time where I've had the energy to knit. So, just feeling really overwhelmed by all of the whips. So, I've actually put a ban on any cast-ons until I'm finished. I think it was 3.
Wow.
There were
Wow.
3 that I had to finish
Okay.
before I could cast anything on.
That is
So-
way tougher than I was even thinking, but if that's
I will move through these pretty quickly because some of them I have talked about in previous
Yeah.
chapters, and so please go back and watch them if you want details, or hang around until they are finished objects and I'll give you the details then. But my first whip is the Juice Sweater by Katova Kika. Mum, if you're watching and you don't want to see the update, skip ahead to the next part. But if you do want to see it, that's up to you. This is her Christmas present. The Juice Sweater by Katova Kika.
Is it going to be done by Christmas?
Yeah, it's actually a really quick one, this one. It's just more that I haven't been... I find the raglan increase section really tedious.
Yes.
Even though I love it because it keeps you on your toes, and it's like
But you
potato
can't just-
chippy of just one more, just one more, just one more.
Yeah.
You do 1 round with 16 increases, and then 3 rounds with just knitting the round.
Yeah.
And so I have to keep track of my rows, which that's tedious. But as soon as I split for sleeves, which I'm doing in, I think I've got like 2 or 3 more rounds of increases to go. And as soon as I split for the sleeves, it's just going to be smooth sailing. Like this yarn, this is the drops. Oh, Pets of the Pod. Can we see the kitty?
The cat's just popped in to say hello.
Yeah, hopefully the camera's picking. I don't think the camera will pick
It might
up.
not.
Oh,
Oh,
you want to have a cuddle of the jumper? Yeah. Oh, you are so
She wants to wear the jumper.
She wants to wear it.
She's poked her head over the neckband.
Pets of the Pod.
Hey!
Oh, we scared her.
Too much.
Oops. Bye. Anyway, okay, so once I split for sleeves on this, it'll just fly off. Like, it's the yarn Drops Lima in the colour dark grey mix, which is number 0519. It's a combination of alpaca and wool. I think it's like 60-30, 70-30, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It's a good gauge. So it just kind of flows really quickly. So once I split for sleeves, I think I'll fly through the body and the sleeves and whatever else. It's just a matter of, as I said, because there's 16 increases per round. I think it goes that way. So anyway, I feel like I've talked about this for too long. It's slow going, but this is the one I'm focusing on at the moment. Oh, sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. Sorry. This is the one I'm focusing on at the moment. So I will be able to get this done by Christmas for my mum. I actually have to have it done by the middle of December because I'm going away. So I'm not going to be here for Christmas.
Which you're 2 months out, so
Yeah.
totally achievable.
Really, I mean, at the end of the day, I can knit a jumper in a month if I'm focused on it. I just have to be focused on it. So that's what I'm doing. That one. So I have to finish that. My next whip. I know, right? You've seen this one lots of times, so I am not going to talk about it. I'm just going to show my progress. This is my Simple Things sweater by Katova Kika. There are a lot of Katova Kika.
Oh, the sleeve is done the same way as the Rosie.
No, you pick up all the way around.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah. So done the collar, partway through a sleeve. Realized when I was picking up the sleeves, I looked to see how many sleeves, like stitches I needed to pick up for the sleeve. Looked at the pattern and I was like, hang on a minute. Because I remembered how many stitches I cast on. I was like, hang on a minute. I've been knitting a size too small. So I'm more like a size medium, but my tension is very loose. And so I was like, my gauge was slightly off. I think it was like 1 stitch off. And I didn't want as much positive ease as the pattern called for. So I was like, I'm going to knit a small and it'll be perfect. And as I was knitting it, I was thinking, oh, it's not as baggy as I thought it would be. And then I finished the entire body and this front ribbing. And as I was picking up stitches for the sleeve, I realized I've been knitting the extra small. Like, what?
I was so sad when she told me.
It's okay. It still fits me. It still has plenty of positive ease. And I think it'll block out as well. I do think this is going to stretch on blocking. So I still think we're okay. We're fine. I have alternate because I want a split hem too. So I've done the front and instead of a twisted rib, I just did a regular rib. Yeah. And I'll do, mainly because I did not want to.
Yeah.
Do a twisted rib. Yeah. But I also don't think, I also don't think that a twisted rib, I've just dropped some stitches, works in a flat.
Back and forth as well. Yeah.
Back and forth. I mean, it would, but it'd be hard and I just know. I think part of the reason why this is taking me so long, because it's a pretty decent size gauge as well, it actually hurts my wrists, like the muscles, I think because it is a very tight knit.
The fabric is amazing.
Yeah. It's quite dense. Yeah. And so when I'm knitting it, it does cause a bit of muscle tension in my hands. And so I don't pick it up much.
And this is Bendigo Woolen Yarns?
Sorry, yes. Bendigo Woolen Mills luxury 8-ply in moss green.
Similar.
Yeah.
Very close. Yeah.
Mine doesn't do beautiful colour changing. Can I just also say this? I bought 4 200-gram balls. This is 2.
Wow.
And I've still got this.
Yeah.
So I'll have some left over. Like a lot left over.
I think I had a whole bowl from my book club.
Yeah. Yeah. But so that's that one. I have to finish this one before I cast anything else on. So I've got 2 that I have to finish before I cast anything else on.
Man, I don't know what our November pod's going to be like if you're still going on them.
Look, I very well could be still going on them. So, yes, my next whip that I have to finish before casting anything else on is my Love Letter top by Katova Kika.
Surprise!
Shock horror. Next year I've decided...
Katova Kika fan.
Yeah, I'm a Sari fan too. I have a lot of her patterns. I think because, like, she was the YouTuber that got me into knitting. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but she was a big factor.
Have you watched her latest video? She's like, I'm going to go catch up with Sari. I was like, oh, cute, they're friends.
I did see that. So I have, like, a lot of her patterns in my...
Plus, you've been working through the knits to wear. Not that that's the knits to wear, but,
No, this was just one I bought ages and ages and ages ago, and I really wanted to, I'm going to Queensland in December and I wanted to have it ready to take with me. So I am one chart away from joining
Great.
in the round, and then I just
Yeah.
do this. And I mean, it's pretty quick. Like
Yeah.
I did all of this in one night, just like in one sitting.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's
It's just that you do have to have a level of concentration to read a chart.
yeah, and I think that's been my problem. I've been really tired in the evening, and so to have the energy and the concentration. But when I'm doing it, I love it, and I'm like, I say to myself, why have you put this off for so long? But anyway, isn't it beautiful?
I
Detailing.
love the colour.
And it's going to be so Queensland.
So Queensland.
Bohemian,
Yep.
boho, whatever vibes. So I have to finish that one.
Like I'm going, I've got one in a, like, almost like the cherry colour from the colour work of the Rosy.
Yeah.
I'm almost like, do I need to make another one that's more of like a neutral cream colour?
Yes, you do. Because
It's beautiful.
that is. Oh, and I'm knitting this in Drops Bell.
Yes.
And I'm knitting the size medium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I need to say anything else about it?
No.
No. Cool. Drops Bell light beige, I think it is.
Do you have to finish that one before you can cast something else on?
That is my third one that I have to finish before I cast anything else on.
Yeah.
I will probably, to be fair, have finished these as well in that time. So that's my thinking. I'll have
on the
4
go.
whips
Yep.
done.
Yeah.
But they're my 3 main ones because I had too many jumpers.
Yeah.
My next whip, Kendall, I feel like you're not talking.
I don't know much to say when it comes to whips. You are carrying the whip section.
Oh my gosh. And I'm never doing this again. Remind me next time I get cast on fever. Be like, comment, girl, don't do it.
She will do it.
Just wait.
She will do it.
Okay, my next whip. Have you seen this one yet?
No.
This is exciting. This is the Sweetheart.
Yes,
So
of course.
this is from Katova Kika's Knits to Wear book that I am working my way through. This is one of my Make 9s. So this and the Love Letter top are both on my Make 9s. They're the last 2 that I had to cast on. So all my Make 9s are on the needles or finished.
Yep.
This is actually quite easy to follow the pattern along. It's a really simple pattern repeat and relatively quick. Like I reckon this was like 2 nights of progress.
Beautiful. What needle gauge are we on?
Oh my gosh, I haven't even said that for any of them. I'm sorry guys. I just wanted to
4.5.
smash through my whips with you.
Yeah.
Please look on my Ravelry if you want any extra information. Most of my information is on there. So yeah,
So
4.5 millimeter needles. I had these on my Lantern Moons.
Yep.
And it was too grippy. Couldn't do it. It was so hard because I'm doing the cables without a cable needle.
Yeah.
Look at me growing and adapting. I was like, this is going to take forever. I need to learn. So I did. And so these were actually on another project and I just swapped them out. I think they were on the this because this is also a 4.5.
Yeah.
So I just took them off that, put them on this, and then put the Lantern Moons on this one. So this one is I'm just going to work on slowly over time. It's lace work with a little bit of cabling, and it's beautiful and I love it. And I'm using Drops Lima.
Yep.
No, Flora, the 4-ply.
With the mohair.
With the Drops Kid Silk.
Yeah.
So the Lima and the Flora are the same combination of yarn. So alpaca wool blend, whatever the percentages are. One's 4-ply, one's 8-ply. So this is the 4-ply.
Yep. It's beautiful. The fluff on it is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know, you probably won't be able to see. That is going to look amazing.
The cabling's not
the colour.
really, the lacework and the cabling's not really showing through much at the moment.
It will.
But it will.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be
Stunning.
lovely.
I love it's got like a lace pattern and then the cable. I love that combination.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that is one that'll be ongoing and I don't need to finish it before I cast anything else on. Now, my other whips, I've got the Arctic Light.
Yes,
which
our buddy knit.
I think I'm only 2 or 4 rounds away from splitting for sleeves. So I have been working on that in the background. Every time I touch it, like pick it up, I'm like, oh my gosh, this yarn, I love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leasim, if you have not used their wool, use it.
Yeah.
Because, oh my goodness, I can't even.
We
Anyway,
were away in Clare, and I said to Craig that we could have just detoured off a little bit and gone, but we didn't.
Are they in Snowtown?
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to do it
I know.
one day.
And
Maybe
there's
in
another one
summer
up there too.
holidays. So I am slowly working away at that. I'm not going to show you because that will be so long term, and if you see it every chapter, you'll be so bored. And then there's my other whip is the Joy Scarf, and that's just on pause. I'll pick that up again at some point.
Yep.
I will, I promise. I might work on it in Queensland.
Yeah.
And then the other whip, I'm actually going to frog this one. I cast on another pair of DK ribbed socks for me using Skein Machine's Lumber Yak. Natural undyed merino. I think it's 60% merino, 20% yak, 20% silk. And I did bring it. Kendall sent me a picture of the field sweater, which I showed in our very, very first ever episode.
Because she made it as a gift knit. That is dedication.
I made it as a gift knit for my mother-in-law.
Stunning, but like, it's a lot of time.
And
it was
I
like
actually-
45 minutes for each round.
Yes, at the
She's
force
blanked
fitting
that from her
sleeves.
memory, but I'm reminding her that it was
blanked that from
45
my
minutes.
memory. Oh my gosh! Because
She was like, it was so quick. I was like, it wasn't.
once you got through
The grains.
the grains, boom! I think I got it done in like a week once I got through the grains. It was so fast. That could be the yarn, but anyway, Kendall sent me a picture of someone knitting it in a beautiful
Possum yarn.
possum merino.
Yeah.
By Louis Luz, I think it was. And
Yeah,
I
Louis,
went,
Louis Lola yarns.
do you know what? I have actually still got 115 grams of the Lumberjack
From Skein Machine.
from Skein Machine. It's their house dye. I could go and buy, I think I only need 4 more hanks of this because I absolutely love this colour and the feel.
It is so soft. Again, I wish you could feel it through the screen because it is like...
Oh, it's to die for. It is so incredible. I only need 4 more skeins, and so I could knit myself a field sweater in this. But it has to wait. I've got like 16
Yes, it has to
projects waiting. So anyway, I'm going to frog this so it's not
Which
a whip,
means-
so I
yeah,
can
not a
get
whip,
one
7.
whip off
Yay!
my list. One less thing to stress about. This one wasn't stressing me because I knew it wouldn't take long. But I did realise when I cast this on why Dave's socks came out so big.
Wrong size needle?
Yes. I don't know why, but I was knitting them on a 3.5mm needle instead of a 3.25, and I have loose tension.
Yeah.
So with these, I don't have a 3.25mm needle. I have bought one,
Yes.
but I didn't when I started this, so I just went down one size because Summerlee Knits has such a big range of sizes. I just went down one size, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
But I'm going to frog it anyway.
Gonna frog it.
I may not. I don't know. I may just end up buying extra yarn. I do want to knit the field sweater in that yarn though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just depends though, because you could look at colours and decide to change to a different colour.
No, I really
No?
liked that dark kind of neutrally. And that colour just,
Speaks to you.
it is so, everything about that yarn I love.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm exhausted.
She's whipped through a whip. Well, she's whipped through a whip. Did you whip through your whips?
It did not feel like it, but I think I probably did. Like, I feel like I missed so much information.
all right.
But you'll see with the finished product.
We'll link it below.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to acquisitions. After the last episode, I was inspired by all of your cast on artists and I needed to make plans. So I did a Bendigo Woolen and Mills order. If you've watched my Matcha vlog, you might have just seen some little like bonus footage of the yarn I got.
The unraveling.
So obviously the Rosie sweater was an acquisition in the Cocoon and the Cherry in the Whisper. I also got, I said last time, I don't have any sweater quantities just in stock ready to go. So I wanted to kind of make some plans and then thoughtfully buy some yarn. I should say if you're not into acquisitions, you can just skip ahead. But I do try to be intentional in what I'm buying and buying for a plan. So in saying that, back in July, Bendigo Woolen Mills dropped their Wallami range.
I haven't seen it in person.
So this is the blue gum. It's an 8-ply, but again, we'll probably work up more like a template. It's stunning. It is their only range that's mulesing free, that's non-mulesing.
Oh, awesome.
So
I didn't realise that the
yeah,
other
I
ones
didn't
were.
tell it to buy it. They are. And look, that's a bigger debate that I'm not going to get into. But
No. Yeah.
in Australia, it's pretty much impossible to completely avoid it
Yeah.
and avoid buying it. But this one is, if people were interested and that was something they were passionate about, it is a non-mulesing yarn.
Oh, for some reason I thought only merino sheep got mulesed, but I must be wrong.
I think it's all.
Yeah, must be.
No, fly strike is pretty fly strikey.
Flies don't discriminate.
So
Based
it's
on breed.
100% Corriedale wool.
I love the colour too.
Yeah.
It is so soft. It feels beautiful. And
Do I remember what I was going to do it as?
what you were going to make with it?
I know what kind of style. It's a jumper that's got cabling all through it, but I haven't completely set on a project yet.
Yeah.
But it has cables running down. I'll pop it down here. So yes, I only needed 3 balls for like a cable work jumper.
What?
Which I was like, yeah.
Well, considering I'm like nearly finished, a sleeve and a half, and
Yeah.
a ribbing, and I've 2 balls in, not even. So that's the Ulimi Blue Gum,
Yeah.
400 meters to 200 grams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 1,200.
Yeah,
So that's a lot.
beautiful.
I love it. I'm excited to see how it will work up. I've seen a couple of people using it for projects on YouTube and stuff, and they look amazing.
I've seen some projects coming out.
Yeah. The other acquisition that I got is for another colourwork project. I mentioned this back in our very first video of like an extra project that I might like to get to. And because I've finished 8 of my 9 Mag 9s, we've got room for extra. So this is the Whim Pullover by Hobby Yarn. So it's a free pattern. And I love these colours.
These colours are so Kendall.
I'm so stoked.
So Kendall.
So first one for the background, we're going to go in with this is all luxury 8-ply, Bendigo Woolen Mills. This is in the colour Ghost.
Oh, I've always wanted to see Ghost.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
Good to know. Sometimes
cool
the colours,
colour.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes the colours photographed don't match what
No.
you get. So you can get colour shades from them, and I really
I've got a
probably
shade card,
should,
but
yeah.
again, even that, it's just they're so little that it's hard to tell.
know.
Then
Love
I
this.
got the Baby Mint. Kendall of the 2010s definitely had like jeans that were that colour. I
Really?
love that colour.
Interesting. This is a very you colour.
Soft blush.
Soft line. Also a very you colour. I feel like if I wore this, I'd look weird.
Yeah, it's not your colour.
No, not at all my colour, but
But
it's pretty.
there are some other darker colours coming into this.
Yes.
Coastal Blue.
I love this colour.
This next one is
That
my
would
favourite.
suit me.
That will suit you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my hands are getting full.
I'm obsessed with this colour.
Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Very,
love it.
very, very you.
So lavender.
Yeah.
I have a dress entirely from that colour in cotton, but
Oh, nice. And what are you making again? Sorry, you
the Whim
the
pullover.
Whim. That's right.
So-
and we'll put a photo.
Top down, I think it's a circular yoke. I think it's a circular yoke, and then it's got flowers, and then you actually go back and either crochet or embroider some of the details over the top.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
Kind of stoked.
How exciting.
We'll do a swatch and see how we go.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm not normally that much of an acquisitions person, but I needed plans.
And it was
I need
so
something to work
excited
on.
when they started, like when they arrived. She was like, oh my gosh, sending me photos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Haven't cast on any of the others, not living in cast on land.
No, don't do it.
But-
Like, seriously,
Summer holidays maybe.
appreciate. I'm okay with having like 2 or 3 things
Yeah.
on the go.
Yeah.
Like one jumper,
Yeah.
something small that you can take with you, and then something a bit more intricate.
And that's what I'm missing now. I don't have the something small to take
Yeah,
with me.
I think my issue is I have got like 4 jumpers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
2 of them are just simple stockinette.
And they're all at very similar spots too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in the raglan
Pre-sleeves.
increase. Torture. Okay. Well, my acquisitions.
Yes.
I was also saying, no more acquisitions, because I have got 3 sweater projects at home waiting. Like the yarn is sitting at home waiting to cast on.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I don't need any more yarn because I've got too many projects waiting right now. I caught up with my friend Heather, who is full of knit on Instagram. She actually, we used to catch up when I was a crocheter, and she would knit and I would crochet. And she was like, I want you to teach me to crochet. And I was like, I want you to teach me to knit because I don't know how to knit. And then I never taught her how to crochet. I'm sorry, Heather. And I'm now knitting. So we knit together and it's fun. So we caught up. It was more a walk and talk rather than a sit and knit. But it was actually really nice because we went to Sterling to that new yarn store that's opened up.
Isn't it? Hasn't it been there for years and we just didn't know about it?
Potentially.
I think I don't think it's new.
Anyway, I went in. It's new to me.
No, I haven't been.
I
You're
went
the
in.
expert.
They've got sewing. They've got clothing. You can buy
Oh, wow.
like simple
Yeah.
like undershirts and things, socks and undies and whatnot, and lots of yarn. A lot of acrylics.
Yes.
But I did find some nice cotton and some nice wool there. And so in my Ravelry queue, I have got the Sabai Top
Yep.
by Paula Strict. I do not say that with the beautiful accent
I'm
that
sorry.
people say it in. I watched Stitches Past 9 and it says her name beautifully. Paula Strict. I can't say
Oh,
it.
it's not that one.
Suzanne Mueller.
Oh, yeah.
Paula Strict. Yeah. So her name is Suzanne Mueller. Her
Handle.
if you will, is Paula Strict.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that I did not say that accurately. Anyway, I'm going to be knitting the Sabai Top. It's
Yeah.
been on my list forever, and suddenly I feel like everyone is knitting it. But that's okay. I'm fine with jumping on bandwagons. And so I got this gorgeous organic cotton in black. Yes, I'm going to be knitting two things in black. It's fine. Who needs eyesight?
Can we just talk for a moment, though, about how, like, this is going to be you in your, like, laney pants?
Yes. Yeah, I'll look like that. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Nice pants. And I
Yeah.
can wear it to work. And it's organic cotton. They had some really gorgeous colours. There was a really nice, like, purpley brown colour that I was really tempted by, but I wasn't 100% sure it would match my skin tone. So, Sabai Top. So I
Yeah.
got 5 of these.
Yeah. Heaps.
So I'll take that with me to Queensland
Yeah, good one.
and knit on that. And I figured, you know what, we are going into summer. I am
Yeah.
going to probably want more summer tops than
Yeah.
winter knits. But I want to have some of those winter knits ready for next winter.
Yeah. I just have no summer inspiration. Like, I don't know.
Do you like knitting summer tops?
I do, but, like, nothing's grabbing me.
Yeah,
So-
fair enough. I like the Sabai top because I feel like it's a really nice work
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
So I can wear
Yeah.
my hand knits to work
Yeah,
in
in summer.
summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like spring and autumn, just chuck a nice blazer over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my acquisition.
Good job.
You know how I've told you that my dad bought me a spinning wheel like 2 years ago for my birthday, and it's just sat in my crafting room looking pretty. And it's art. It's beautiful. The Hand Spinners and Weavers Guild of South Australia is doing an 8-week spinning course for beginners like me. And I signed up and I did my first lesson on Wednesday night, just gone, where we learnt all about the wheel. I serviced my wheel. I made sure it was working properly. I met some really lovely people who are in the class with me. And I can use my wheel. So basically my homework is I have to either sit and talk to someone in my family or watch TV or both while spinning just like scrap yarn onto the bobbin. And you have to keep it consistent. And I can do it.
Yay.
So next
That's
week
so good.
we are getting our fleece. The fleece that we are getting is Bennett and Gregor fleece. And it comes in a bunch of natural colours and we could choose what colour we wanted. I chose cinnamon because how gorgeous is that going to be? I don't know how much we'll be spinning and how much of it will be usable at the beginning. But I just thought cinnamon, if I, get 100 grams or something, like a beanie or a headband or something. So I'm so excited. I'm going to soon be knitting with my own
Your own spun
yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Look at us.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
As always, we love to hear about what you have been working on in the comments. Have you knit any of the projects that we've talked about?
Yep. Are you spinning your own yarn?
Are you a yarn spinner?
Do you have 8 whips?
How many whips do you have?
How many
and
works
how
in
do you
progress?
manage them?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, drop us a comment
us know.
and we will catch you in the next
Chapter 10.
chapter. Chapter 10, yeah. Bye, guys.